Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tommy Daniels and it's so good to have you here today. Today, as you can see, I've got a lovely guest. But before I go into that, I'll just introduce my channel. I film about faith, relationships, lifestyle, property, love. I love love. So yeah, please, if you're yet to subscribe, definitely do so right now. And also like the videos. It also helps the algorithm. And also engage with the content. I'd like to know what you think about this video and also my other videos. All right, let's get into today's video. As you can see from the title, we're going to be talking about everything you need to know about getting a UK student visa. Okay, so this is a follow-on from my video from last week where I talked about, like, you know, from being on a student visa to British citizenship. And obviously, since it's been a few years since I've been on a student visa, I thought I'll bring in someone who was recently just moved to the UK. So welcome, Anjola Okwade. Yay! All right, Anjola, thank you so much for being on my channel today, and thank you for agreeing to do this. You're gonna be telling us like everything, like the whole process from, you know, getting the admission, finding a school, what you need to know, what you needed to get, maybe in terms of like transcripts and stuff like that, and then the whole like the admissions process, the visa process, and then to you being here today, and maybe just how you're finding the UK so far. But before we go on, can you just introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Anjola Okwade and I'm studying corporate communications and public affairs at master's level at Robert Gordon University in Aberdeen, Scotland.
Yay! welcome.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to get into we're just going to drop right straight into it. So can you tell us first of all why did you even decide to do a master's?
Oh, so, well, my family is really academic, so getting a master's was always the grand plan, right? And by the time I was done with my undergrad, I sort of pivoted a little bit. So my bachelor's is, a bachelor's in agriculture, but by my third year in uni, I think, I started to pursue other interests, and by the time I graduated, did my NYC, started working. I was working more in communications, marketing communications, all of that. And I just wanted to, take it a notch higher, like pursue it professionally and just really get like proper education about it. So that's why I wanted to do a master's.
Okay, great. So let's jump to when you've decided you're going to do a master's. How did you decide on it being the UK? Because I know like a lot of people these days, think about Canada, the US, or even like, the Scandinavian countries, or Germany, like many different countries. Like I'm seeing a lot of, particularly Nigerians, but not just Nigerians, but maybe Africans in general, in, just, going to many different countries. But why UK? What was so special about the UK?
Okay, so for me, well, even though I was interested in pursuing academics, I wasn't interested in writing exams like IELTS or GRE or GMAT. So not wanting to write those exams, already ruled out North America, as Canada and the US. Like I didn't want to do GRE, I didn't want to stress my brain, right? And for the UK, I knew that there are language requirements. Like as long as you had at least a C6 in WAEC, you'll be fine, like in English, and I had higher than a C6, so I knew that was fine. Also the language, right? I'm great with languages. Je parle français un peu, but
I have no idea what you just said. Okay.
But I just wanted to be, in an English-speaking country, and one that is also not so far from home, like just in case I had to travel back to Nigeria for anything. Just 6 hours on a direct flight. So yeah, that was why I chose the UK.
Okay, great. So one of the reasons why I wanted you here was because you went through this whole process by yourself. So in terms of the admissions, everything, like from start to finish, you did it by yourself. And I know a lot of people use agents. So I guess this video was just to show people that it is possible to, to do it yourself, and you don't have to like pay so much money to agents to do it. I mean, if you can't, or I'm not saying that agents are bad. I'm just this is just letting you know that there's also the option of you doing it by yourself. Okay, so you decided in UK. What was the process like in terms of like how did you decide on Robert Gordon University, for instance? Did you look at a few different universities or programs, or were you what was it? How was your shortlisting process? Of deciding what university?
Oh, okay. Like, I mean, you're right to say shortlisting process because I had the process, like, I had a whole Excel sheet, the rankings and tables and all. I also had the luxury of time, right? So it's not like, I was running a 9 to 5 or I had kids or anything. So I know that, like, for some people, they don't have time. So, they just need an agent.
Yeah.
But for me, I had time. And because I'm self-funded, right, I also wanted to make sure that my investment towards education was going to the right place that I would really like. So I first of all I started with the course. I decided that I wanted to pursue corporate communications and PR. I wanted to pursue communications in some form, and whether marketing communications or media communications. So I started by looking for that course in the UK and then looking at university rankings, and also tuition fees because, like I mentioned earlier, I'm self-funded.
Yeah.
So yeah, I chose Robert Gordon University because they offered me the best deal financially, and they are also well ranked, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say they offered you the best deal financially, I'm guessing that means you applied to a few different universities.
Yes, I applied to about 4 universities in the UK. Apart from the UK, I was looking at other countries. Like, I was just doing that so I won't put all my eggs in one basket, but I really wanted to come to the UK. Yeah.
Okay. So you applied to 4 different universities. So was that was it tedious to do that? What was what exactly did you need to do to apply?
Oh, okay. So I feel like the most tedious part for most people is writing the personal essay.
Okay.
Right.
And so the personal statement.
Yeah, personal essay. And you have to be honest, you have to answer the questions smartly, and it's really that's really putting your best foot forward and just getting in the door, right? So I think writing the personal essay was the big deal, and you can't use one essay for all schools. You have to tailor the essays for each school. I remember I applied to one school and they said we should talk about our interests and hobbies as well. And like in between, I talked about how I love football, and it was from watching a football match that I discovered their city, and then I discovered I was from watching a football match. I discovered the city, and then we researched about schools. So writing the personal essay was like the most tedious bit. Then transcripts from your university.
I was literally next to them come to what are the things that were required from yourself. So yeah.
Oh, okay. So the personal statements, number 1. Transcripts. For me, I already had my transcripts. I'd gotten it from my uni. As soon as I graduated, I didn't want to have to go back. So everything I could get, I got my transcripts, my
just to stop you. So this is because it was a postgraduate degree. So this is a transcript from your undergrad. So if you're younger and you're looking at this as for your first degree or your undergraduate degree, obviously the process is different because then you're looking more about you're looking more to your A levels or O levels. So this is transcript because it's an MSc.
Yeah, because it's postgraduate. Yeah. So different schools have their requirements. You just have to look at the school and the course as well. For some schools, they would also ask for reference letters. Yeah, from professionals or from people that taught you in school. So it was just a mix of different things.
So did you need to do that at all?
Yes, I did. My manager was willing to write, and one of my lecturers as well. So.
Okay, so I guess at this point it's good. Like if you're still in university at the moment and you're thinking about doing it, so make sure you don't burn all your bridges and think school. I don't need anything from you. Make sure you keep in touch. Have a lecturer or professor, people that you can still go to, that can give you this things. Because I know, particularly in Nigeria, some of these things can be quite difficult to get. But if you have that personal relationship with people, and I think it's just in life generally, you don't burn bridges. Even if you ate the place or you ate where you're working, you never know when you need them. So it could be a professional reference that you need from them. So just have those contacts that you can always go to. Okay, great. So you got 4 offers from 4 universities, I believe.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and then you decided to. So you said they gave you the best offer. So was it just the tuition fees, or were you able to get a scholarship as well? Or
no, it was just a tuition discount. Yeah, but they offered me. But
on what basis?
I think because I'm an international student, maybe that's their way of attracting more people to their city.
Right.
Yeah, but even the schools that they offer me, I was like, the worst you can tell me is a no. So I wrote to them hi, this is me. I've got an admission. I need a discount. For some of them, they're like, oh, your grades are okay, but it doesn't fall within this range, So be willing to, pursue it, even if they don't offer it to you at first.
Yeah, that's good, and I think that's a really good tip. So I would also suggest, like, you just looking out, like, to see what scholarships are on offer. I think some people, once you apply, they automatically off, like, if you fall into, like, the grade that you were saying, they may automatically apply offer you, but some you need to actually apply for those scholarships. So make sure that you're doing your research properly and checking, and not just going with the tuition fees that you can see on the website, because maybe you can get a discount on whatever basis it is. Okay, so you decided Robert Gordon it was, you had your offer. What was the next thing? Like, what is the next thing you need to do?
So the next thing is applying for a visa, right? But before you can apply for a visa, you need to get a CAS, confirmation of acceptance of studies, something like that, a CAS number from your university. And before you can get a CAS, you need to have, for some schools, right, they'll ask to see your tuberculosis certificate. It's a certificate that declares that you don't have tuberculosis, right? Because I was coming from Nigeria. It's not for all countries, but if you're coming from Nigeria and you'll be in the UK for longer than 6 months, I think you need to have that certificate. And I mean, it's important to say it because for me, I didn't have that information, right? I would have been in the UK like months before, but I didn't know that I would need my tuberculosis certificate so early, so it delayed me a bit.
So you need a tuberculosis certificate to get the CAS?
Yeah, to even get the CAS, yes. And you also need to show, so you need to have an unconditional offer, right? So most schools, when they offer you admission, it's a conditional offer. And the condition can be anything from, you have to pay a tuition deposit, or you have to submit some academic documents or references, like whatever your condition is, you have to fulfill it. Yes, and then when your offer becomes an unconditional offer, then you would need to now like add your tuberculosis certificate. I need to show proof of funds. That's like the rest of the tuition. After you pay the deposit, the rest of the tuition, as well as living expenses for about 9 months, you need to be able to show that in your account for a certain number of days. And then when you get your CAS, you can now apply for your visa.
Right. Okay. So to the visa application process, which I guess this is where a lot of people are just so scared, and this is probably the point where they want an agent to do it, because it's like, I don't want to do it. But honestly, like in my life, I've applied for many visas before I got to the point of getting my British citizenship, and I never ever like used an agent for anything. But I know some people, they would never even think about doing it themselves. But honestly, you can. So with the visa process, what first of all, how did you find it? Was it tedious, or was it just
it wasn't tedious, to be honest. Like, these people put out all the information. Like, they don't want you to make mistakes, right? So there's information about everything. So before I even applied, I think I read the website for like 2 or 3 days straight, like, going through all the frequently asked questions, like what ifs and like I just really read as much as I could.
Let me just stop you right there. I think that's such a vital point, reading like and doing your research. Even though you're watching this video right now, like, I won't expect you to just rely on this video as everything you need to know about applying for. I mean, that's what it's titled, but I would expect you to still go like and do like a lot more research. I realize that some people, you tend to rely on other people for information like so much, like you don't want to put in the work at all. Like, literally, the internet, especially in this day and age, like the information is out there. It's just how much of the work are you willing to put in. So the information is out there. Like, it's just, are you ready to actually go in and research? Okay, so you did your research on everything you needed to do, and then what next?
And then I did the application online, paid for the visa, and then I had to secure a date to have my biometrics information taken, and then did the biometrics, and then afterwards just wait for
how long? What's the waiting period?
For a standard visa, it's 15 working days.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can pay to have it quicker. There's priority, there's super priority. So just make sure the services are available at the time you want to apply.
Okay. So there's one part we didn't mention. We didn't talk about dates. So in terms of applying to all of these universities, are there, like, the universities you apply to, do they have like a cutoff date in terms of for admissions? Like, if you go with like September resumption, for instance, do you have to apply by a certain date? Also considering that you still needed to apply for a visa, like, so are there dates that people need to be aware of when applying for?
Yes, definitely. I mean, different departments, different schools have their dates, but no matter what, like, the earlier the better, especially if you still have to apply for a visa after. Like, take into consideration so many things, like first of all,
COVID.
yeah, COVID. Then even doing the tuberculosis test, right? Before I could get the test done, I had to go to because in Nigeria you can only get it done in 2 centers in the whole country.
Oh wow!
Right, so getting a date
In the whole country.
Yeah, in the whole country. It's either you do it in a center in Lagos, in Ikeja, or you do it in Abuja. Right, so people travel like. It was crazy getting a date, even to do the tuberculosis test. So like, just know that you will need time. So as soon as you can apply, please go ahead and apply.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so you waited 15 days and
15 working days exactly.
You got your visa. How did you feel when you got the visa?
Oh my! It was surreal because it was like all this stress like has culminated into this piece of paper on my passport. Like, is this real? Is this really happening? Right? And then I started, texting my family, calling everyone, like, guys, I got the visa, this and that. And I think I didn't have so much time because classes were resuming quickly. So it was like, okay, get into preparation mode. I didn't even have time to celebrate, the win. It was just, okay, you have work to do and you don't have time. Yeah, so it was a good feeling though. It was good.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then on a lighter note, as we wrap this video up, what was your first impression of the UK? Because obviously this is your first time being in the UK.
Yeah, this is my first time being in the UK.
So what was your first impression?
My first impression was, okay, this place is actually as cold as they say. Like, they're not like, because everybody was like, get ready for the cold. This one was like, I beg. But when I landed, it was like the cold hit me in my face. Like, okay, they weren't joking. This place is actually cold. But at least for immigration, I feel like they were helpful, right? Because so many people get apprehensive. Like, okay, immigration, they can send me back, but it felt like a conversation. Like, they wanted to know, and I answered them like, okay, what are you studying? This is what I'm studying. Why are you here? This is why I'm here. Like, it was question and answer, so it didn't feel stressful. So yeah, it was good. Great. It was lovely to take in the scenery and see people driving on the wrong side of the road.
We're driving on the right side of the road. Of course. Excuse me. But yeah, it's so far. I mean, you've been here for a short time now. Mm-hmm. What is the one thing that you miss, or is there anything that you're currently missing? Or what is the one thing?
Currently missing my family. I'm not really missing food because food is food. But yeah, I think like my family. The only thing I'm missing. Yeah.
Okay. That's another thing. Your family. Okay.
Yeah, and my family is like everybody. Like, it's a large family.
Okay.
There are people in my family that know my family.
Okay. All right, we'll leave it there. But yeah, thank you so much. That brings us to the end of this video. That's really, really helpful. I'm pretty sure that you would have taken, quite a few things. I think if there's anything to know in terms of just planning ahead for this, 1, 2, knowing that, the information is out there and you can do this yourself. Mm-hmm. I know it's easy to make a mistake, which is why you also need to make sure you're researching and doing things properly, because the last thing you want is, getting particularly like with visas, the last thing you want is being denied. Once you're denied like the first time, it's like you now you have to start proving like even more that this is genuine, or I really want this. So you just let's take out the make it easier for yourself, and I'm sure no one wants the disappointment over visa denial. All right, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. Please make sure you also check out the previous video I did where I talked about from being on a student visa to getting my British citizenship, and that whole process. And so if you're interested, if you're already here in the UK as a student and you're interested in seeing what it could look like, being here on a long-term basis, or you're considering, the UK, studying in the UK, or maybe we're in the UK with other countries like Canada or Scandinavian countries, or just anywhere else, and try and think what is the best route, you'll find that video very helpful, and I'm sure you'll find this video very helpful as well. Thank you so much, Anjola, for sharing all of that. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm Tommy Daniels. Goodbye.
Bye.